Yeah. It's your boy Sid. What's up, everybody? I want to thank everyone for watching and tuning in to the live broadcast as I have my special guest, long waited. I've been reaching out to do something again with this guy for a minute. He's been busy. Everybody's being busy with, with the COVID-19 and, being stuck at home and taking care of their loved ones. And it's a sad situation we have it going on, but if we pray to God and if we believe, we will get through this as a one and as a nation. So once again, I want to welcome my Cowboys family. What's up, man? How you been?
What's up, man? How you doing, man? Hope everyone's staying safe out there, listening to the science and the medicine and the medical professionals. Those are the people you need to listen to. Stay safe out there, guys. We are busy as hell, but we've been on before. I was on here earlier with you. About 3 weeks ago, a month ago, before this whole thing went crazy. So yeah, it's been a minute, but it's been hectic. So man, just honored to be here. Hope everyone's listening to the science and the medical professionals, staying safe, and of course everybody out there saying go Cowboys.
Yeah, man. Go Cowboys is right. Now, before I get started, MCF, I've been a fan, and you're one of the reasons why I've decided to start my YouTube channel. And I've watched other great guys out there that I'll be doing the interviews with as well. And I just want to touch base, and I just want the nation to know MCF and why MCF decided to do this YouTube thing that you do every night. You're a dedicated guy. I tune in when I can. You obviously come on late at night, but you grind it every single night. You go online and you are online with your fiance for 2 hours, 3 hours sometimes, just trying to get the knowledge out there about the Dallas Cowboys. What made you start, and what made you become a Dallas Cowboys fan?
Well, as far as the fan stuff, man, I was little. I was living in West New York, New Jersey. My family, a little kid, playing football and all that. But before all that, when I was like 4, 5, 6 years old, man, just the team caught my eye, and that was the Dallas Cowboys. My dad was, he passed away, but he was a diehard old school, New York Giants fan from the old. I'm talking when they played in New York, like in the 1930s and 40s. So, he's a diehard football fan, but a Giants fan. My mom, got into football when she married him into the 70s when they had Roger the Dodger. That was her guy. That was like her love. That was her favorite player of all time. So you could see in the household there was a Giants fan, there was a Cowboy fan. I was born, and I don't know, the Cowboy star, the cheerleaders. I don't know what it was. That caught my eye, and it's other than my family, my mother, my father, family members, brother. I've been a Cowboy fan. That's been the closest thing, after my close family. That's the next thing I've known for as long as I have, it's Dallas Cowboys. And I just the Danny White years and the 3-13 and 1-15 years in the 80s. And it just was horrible. But hey, fan till death. That's the way I roll here. And then when I met fiance, she wasn't into football at all. In fact, when I would watch the Cowboy games, she would read or book or whatever it is. But something caught her eye. It was a couple of different things that, kind of went down when she watched me after a couple of years watching the playoff, watching the Cowboys play, and she kind of got hooked on it. And then
I don't really
never stopped, man. She's been a huge Cowboy fan since meeting.
You don't think those tights have a little something to do with that, man?
if it was, it would have worked year one, with fiance 7 years ago. But yeah, she that didn't care anything. It was more the passion that I have for the Cowboys and just she saw how it was. It wasn't just a bunch of guys just hitting each other and catching the ball and running. It was like strategy on every play. And once she understood that hooked her and made her, Cowboy fan for life, so to speak. So as far as fandom, that's how we started. Now the channel, my fiance and I have been watching football together for close to 6 years. We've been live for not even 3 years, like online. So for the last 2.5 years or so, we've been doing this every day on MCF. But the way I looked at it was this. I was like, look, there's no real – listen, I watch a lot of other YouTubers that are out there for about 6 months before we went live, and that kind of made my decision for me. Because I don't like the clickbaiting stuff, and it's not about any other channels. I'm just saying, I don't like the clickbaiting stuff. I wanted to go somewhere where I can hear facts, not opinions. I wanted to hear the facts. Then I don't mind to hear opinions on top of the facts, but I had to hear those facts first. I don't want to hear what someone thinks of the facts, selling it to me as that's the way it is. I don't like that. So as a Cowboy fan, when I was young, I remember thinking, damn, I wish I could have someone give me the up-to-date information every night on our Dallas Cowboys, and that's kind of the basis. It goes back to like where my fandom started. But I think about being a fan and wanting to hear the real news, not the stuff that maybe makes me feel good, or not the stuff that, is like all about the hating on this person or Dak or whatever. It's about the facts. That's what I want. Facts over everything. And once we get the facts out, then we can discuss. But we got to get those. That's why it's 2 hours, 3 hours, because we get the facts out, the definite news that we know, we heard, we reported from these guys, quotes, live interviews, whatever it is, we know it's true. And then we speak on that and hear from you guys in the chat and our nightly live stream. So that's how we roll. That's why we got into this. And then, it's great that people appreciate it, because it's a grind, man. It's been 2.5 years. And, we had 4 people watching us, 2 years ago. So now we're getting hundreds, thousands sometimes at one stream, and then and then people also appreciate what we're doing, our time. It's a whole day thing. I mean, some things I'm taking snapshots with my phone or downloading information while I'm working, like my regular life. I'm doing so it's an all day thing. At the end of the night, we wrap it up and give it to you guys, and that's what it's about. It's about the mindset of having a source where you get all the facts, the info, the news, and also the discussion about things in a real way. Not in just clickbaiting. Oh, let me hear some fun shit about this or that, and then it's not really. It's really just no substance in it. We want substance.
No, listen, I totally agree with you. I'm new to this whole YouTube thing, and I'm at 353 subscribers, and it's a grind. And thanks to you, because some of the last video we did brought some new subscribers, and I hear you giving me a shout out when I do come onto your channel and letting people know to subscribe to my channel. And I want to tell you that I really appreciate that. And I want to show you the same love that you show me. And like I said, you're one of the reasons why I decided to get on this whole YouTube, and I want to tell you that I appreciate it. On the flip side of things, I want to tell you I agree with you about my wife also, who wasn't interested in football, who now is a fan as well, has become a Dallas Cowboys fan as well, and she's enjoying the game. So I understand what you're saying on the flip side of thing about why your fiance got involved with the whole football.
And once you learn the strategies behind it, once you learn that each position is like chess, like each position, a pawn's got rules against, whether you can do it, so same thing goes for offensive linemen, tight ends, receivers, quarterback. Everyone got their own little chess piece, So once we understood it, once people start understanding it that way, not just a bunch of dumb guys hitting each other, then you see a whole different, the reason why football is life in a way. So yeah, listen, that's awesome.
And let's speak about football. Let's touch a little bit on that topic.
Let's do it.
With this whole COVID-19 situation going on, just want to send a shout out. I just saw a few people. I want to send out a shout out to Cricho Oliva. She had a question on here. Ready Red, what's up, man? Appreciate you jumping in on the channel. So we're going to talk a little bit about football right now. With that being said, with the whole COVID-19 situation, do you see an NFL season going into 2020 with everything that's going on right now out there?
Great question. It's so funny. We do kind of touch on this every single night. Any little updates, any little new news that trickles out, and there is new stuff coming out every day about this possible season starting. The thing that we spoke about last night on our show, and again, it's 2.5 hours, so you got to hear the whole thing to find it. But if you're there live, you hear it, and it's this, man. The NFL refuses to be able to open up anything. I don't care what Trump says. I don't care all that stuff. But when it comes to the NFL, they are not going to open anything up as far as OTAs, training camp, anything at the facilities. The facilities stay closed. Everything is closed until every single state opens up. So it doesn't matter what Trump says. America's open. That don't matter. It doesn't matter if 45 states are open. It doesn't matter if there's football team. It doesn't matter if Alaska hasn't opened up and Hawaii hasn't opened up. You know why? Because fans from those areas come to the games. And so the NFL says they refuse to do any of those, off-season stuff. Those you need people, the bodies there. They refuse to do any of that until all 50 states are cleared and open and everything is based on that. There's no football season happening. At least not until that. If that's not happening, then football ain't happening. At least not yet. And if it does, I do believe it will happen. I just believe it's going to be pushed down a little bit. It's going to be pushed down to like October to start it up. I mean, you're going to need it. NBA said they need at least 25 days before they can get back into the swing of things. So it's not going to be just like it's over and then we start football, we start sports. It's going to need a month or two before you get rolling into it. You're going to need the OTAs. You're going to need some sort of training camp. So even if things were good, listen, right now they're saying May 1st, but everybody knows it's not going to be May 1st. So even if it's June 3rd, even if it's June 1st or July 1st, when they open everything up again. All 50 states have to do it in America. And on top of that, even if they do it by July 1st and they're all open again, you just can't start training camp, 3 weeks later. It's not going to happen. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a different type of season. I hope we have a season. My brother, when he was on our channel a couple weeks back talking about the coronavirus, he was saying, don't be surprised if there is no season. And I wasn't really sure how I felt about that then. Now I'm starting to worry a little bit. But again, more important, we have issues with starting the season in October. We got bigger issues in this world right now. So, yeah, football is secondary when it comes to that.
I agree with you. I think you touched on a good topic. Donald Trump, I don't think no matter what he says, if society doesn't feel right about doing something, nobody's going to end up doing it. Listen, it's a lot of people that we put into a stadium. We put 10,000 plus, even more than that in stadiums. And I think that it's going to be a very damaging thing if we don't get a handle on this and we throw all those people into the stadium together.
I mean, people. I was reading this a couple nights back. Again, touching on this same subject, 3 out of 4 people, 75% of the population, refuses to go to any NFL event if there is no coronavirus. Vaccine. Yeah. Meaning, even if we got a handle on it, most people are still not going to go to the games. So the NFL might be playing they might have some. Well, I'm thinking maybe they'll have open. Nobody be going to the games, but they'll be played in like an empty stadium, right? With all the players being tested, regularly, because there is no vaccine yet. And then players would have to want to do this too. They have to, their union, the Players Association, would have to agree to that as well. So assuming, obviously they probably want to play too, but in the end, if they do this and they all get in and they go that route, I don't see any way that people, even if they open it, you said like society, but I look at medical professionals, like society might want to go back to work today. I don't care what society says. I care what the medical professionals that really know what's going down and how this thing mutates and kills faster than other flu, viruses that people want to compare it to the flu. They just don't understand the science of it. And that's the thing. Right now, you got to keep people at home for as long as it takes until this thing, because if not, it'll come up. Already in China, they're saying they're having a second wave. More deaths are coming, so even though it went down. So, we can't just let up because we want the economy back. And I know that's important. I'm not trying to downplay it, but sports and business, all that, I got to keep going. But man, nothing goes if we're all dead. You know what I mean?
No,
so
100%. So I had a few people, obviously a few of my friends know I do this, and and I had a few people sending me messages, and and they brought up some good topics, and and I didn't know it was a hard thing to answer. So we know that if there's no NFL season, there's definitely going to be a draft, right? We agree?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, April 23rd, 24th, 25th. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So and it got pushed. I was in Las Vegas, and I was at the Bellagio, exactly where the draft was supposed to be. It was beautiful. I was all hyped up, and now it got pushed. So with that being said, do you still think that the NFL will allow certain things to be done if should be no season? Now, the reason why I'm asking this is, trading players, making, signing players, finalizing contracts. Is that something that you still see happening should there be no NFL season, or do you think that everything's going to be delayed until putting off this season and restarting fresh next season? What do you think about that?
Yeah, the NFL is going to want that money. The owners want that money, and the players want that money, and they want to play. So, they're wasting. Imagine if they don't play for a year. Now some guys are going to be retiring. Some guys lose a year of the last couple of years of football left. They're missing big chunks of money. So even though the players are still, are in danger, they're the ones more in danger than the owners. You know what I'm saying? They're playing and banging up against each other. So, they got to worry about that, but they also got to balance that with the economy side of things and with the side of things where, got to get out there in the field and get the money rolling in, I guess you can say. So if both sides agree and do that, I do think that's not going to be a problem to kind of, especially if things are better, to have some kind of system where trades and stuff can happen. But pulling up the whole season, that's too much lost money. Unless this thing is, we're still at this point, in 6 months from now, so then forget it, man. Ain't no season. But yeah, and that would suck to everybody, but it's better than dying. The thing is that the way I look at it like this, and there's another thing we talked about literally yesterday and the day before on our channel, relating to this exact question, is the college football season. Now, there's a lot of sources saying that college football is going to get pushed back till February 2021.
Yeah.
And if that happens, what happens to the draft situation? Like, how can you draft guys when the
Yep.
draft is usually in April, season ends in June? You understand the issue there next year? So how do you even have a draft? Everything's going to get pushed down. So it's like college might not even play this year. They might push it back to February, and football's gonna be pushed back too. So when I look at all these different things, it's like it's just everything kind of has to coincide with each other when it comes to football and say NFL football and college football and all these things. There's a lot of things that connect along with the other sports because of network deals and shit. They gotta make their money. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how they reformat, redo this season coming up.
Yeah, man, it's you know what, like you just said, that's going to be billions of dollars loss across the board. I don't think the owners are going to have it. I do believe there's going to be an NFL season but it'll be extremely boring. Should it be an NFL season where they don't allow fans to come to the stadium and watch? Do you think that the NFL will go in that direction and say, okay, we'll still have an NFL season, but it's only going to be televised?
Yeah, I mean, I think because again, you get a lot of television revenue is huge. A lot of people don't go to the games because it costs too much. Because it's easy. You get a better view at home. There's a lot of reasons people stay home now. So the NFL will lose money. I think it's more about like the vendors and the people working there. It's really a big hit for them. If football's not there at the stadium, there's nobody there to see the game. But as far as going to see the game, ticket sales and other concession sales, they go. You lose that. But in the end, NFL is going to make. They'd rather make $1 billion than $5 billion. If so, and in the end, they'd rather make $1 billion than zero. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they might as well make the best of it. That's why this draft is going on. And listen, even though they lose some money with all the stuff, and Vegas loses a lot of money from putting in the draft there. There'll be ways again. I heard they're going to try to give Vegas another venue, some other stuff. So there's ways they're going to try to help their city out. But it's more about NFL, how they're going to make the money. It's going to be a watched draft. So they're going to still sell ads and still going to do it through the TV. So to me, television is where it's really going to be at. And that also is where the players are at because of the new CBA. Everything is corresponding, not necessarily on concession stands, concession sales and ticket sales. It's actually more based on TV revenue, and that's how much the salary cap goes up. So when the cap goes up, right, it's going $40 million up next year and $40 million up the next year. Those things are like set. But in the third, fourth, fifth year, all the way to the end of this CBA, every year it goes towards what the TV revenue brings in. And can you imagine next year if they were going to do TV revenue, how much it would go up if they did have a game just on TV, just only on TV? It would go through the roof. The cap would go from 200 million total to 250 million, 275 million in 1 year jump. So people got to keep that in mind when we talk about contracts like Dak's contract and other contracts that, can we get Everson Griffin or could we trade for Jamal Adams? Or, yes, to all these questions. And yes, we can afford Dak Prescott. So all these things are easy money things. And the way the deals are worked out now, it's no issue for the Cowboys to lose. They're not going to lose money guaranteed wise. If they get these contracts done right, which they've been doing. But I'm kind of jumping topic here. I'm sorry, man.
No, it's good. It's good. But you mentioned something that one of our comment in the channel that we got, Kadisha ended up writing, guys, do you think the Dallas Cowboys will sign Dak? So you touched a little bit on that, and I want to ask you, and this is something that I've been saying, and I'll write my opinion. Should there be no NFL season, I don't think that signing Dak is going to be something that the Dallas Cowboys are going to rush. This is my opinion. I believe that right now everything's kind of like being put on hold, and there's certain moves that's not going to happen until we know what's going to be happening with the season. And with that being said, should there be no season, I don't see the Dallas Cowboys pushing to pay Dak and finalize his contract until next year. Once we get past this whole ordeal, and I see them only signing Dak then. What do you think about this? And do you think that this is something that can happen?
That's a good kind of thing to bring up. But I'll say this, I actually disagree. And the reason I disagree is because I think the Cowboys, number one, we already know the money that they had. The Cowboys front office and Dak have agreed to a money thing. It's the per year thing. We know, they know what it is already. Probably 33, 34, something like that. The point is, I don't care what that is. It's about, and here's the issue I have with waiting until next year. It's the fact that next year Now the CBA is officially opened up. I don't know if they delay. I don't know if they're going to delay everything and move it, like whatever would happen this year and next year, that kind of stuff. That's going to be an interesting question to see what happens. And if they just say, we lost that year, now we're going to the next year's now $40 million more on the cap, which is what's going to happen. Dak's going to want even more money. I think it'd be silly to wait to next year. I think it was stupid to wait to next year. I think we got to get him this year. And again, the difference is the number of years, which is 4 or 5. Dak wants 4. Jerry Jones wants 5. And the money, the guaranteed money portion, whatever the 4-year guarantee might be good, but Jerry wants to push it to the 5th year and give him just a little bit more guarantees instead of a lot more guarantees, which is what Dak wants. And that's what these are the sticking points. What I'm trying to say is that the money per year is who cares? That's not a problem. Cowboys already figured it out. Dak figured it out. They're both happy about it. We don't know what that number is, but it doesn't matter what the number is because of the cap next year, and we can afford him this year. Whatever he's hitting the cap this year for, if you sign him to a deal that's going to be 4 or 5 years, you're going to open it up this year on the cap if you want to. So you can open up another $10 million on the cap this year if you wanted to. So listen, sign Dak this year gives us so many more options and variables. If people are worried about the way Dak's going to perform, well, guess what? Cowboys should have done something to have a plan B. They didn't do that. We got Dak. And the thing is that if in 2 years Dak is not performing like we expect, then the Cowboys have to get plan B ready, because in 2 years after that, the contract's up. So Dak's our guy for the next 4 to 5 years. This is something everybody has to accept in their heads. Like, we got to accept this. I like it. Some people don't like it. I don't care. This is what Jerry Jones likes. And so in the end, we're going to have Dak for 4 or 5 years. The thing is, and I think he can do it for us. But the thing is that today we just got reports Dak, because he doesn't have his a deal, he's just on a tag, which he hasn't signed yet. He refuses to even participate in the virtual workouts, which is fine. That's his right. He has 100% right in that. So he's already announced that today. And today, well, he hasn't announced it. Mike Florio announced it, which he seemed to be a real Dak hater. But he said that Dak won't do it. There's been no confirmation, but the expectation is Stephen Jones said they gave him all his iPad, all those playbook stuff, all that stuff from Mike McCarthy, but they can't force him to do it. And his right to not do it. So you pay him, you get that done. We know he's looking at that book. We know he's into workouts and those virtual workouts and the virtual discussions with McCarthy, which is extremely important. Season or no season, we need to get that done. So I think Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, they want to get this done as fast as possible. I think Dak's the one that might want to wait on this. Be honest, it'd be smarter for Dak to wait if he wants to make even more money. Just say this is just facts. So we're talking about getting him signed and waiting until next year. Nah, man, that's just games. It's pushing again. Even if you tag him 1 year, some people want to tag him and wait till next year. I don't agree with that either, because all you're doing is delaying the inevitable. We have no other options. The Cowboys put themselves in this place, and if you draft Tua, Love, or he ain't playing like Dak's going to play for the next 2 to 3 years. That you can bet yourself on that. So we're going to lose out. McCarthy wants to win now. What are we doing? We're playing games. So this is on Jerry Jones in the front office. They got to get this stuff done, and I believe they want to get it done. They're just playing hardball. We can't wait till next year.
I agree with you. It's something that needs to be done this year. But in the flip side of thing, how I look at it is that Jerry Jones, for some reason, and this is Jerry world, this is how he controls the media, he controls the attention that we're getting, and he controls all these contracts. And I believe that Jerry Jones loves to drag things out. So I hear what you're saying, but I do believe that if Dak does hold out and sign next year, Jerry will get his 5 years because he's going to be offering more money. That's how I see a lot of things.
I agree. I agree with that, actually. If it's something that's forced till next year, whether it's COVID, whether it's Dak, whether it's Jerry Jones, I think when time comes, especially if we don't have if we don't draft the quarterback and we still have the same situation where Dak's got to be the guy, I think that you're 100% right. With just Jerry Jones would play. I guess you'd say he'd be paying for the advertisement for another year, paying the extra whatever it is next year to get a whole year of being in the news, right? So I see what you're saying. At the same time, it's detrimental to the team. So even though, he's got – I don't know if Mike McCarthy would – I know he's not really involved in that, but I don't know how long they would let this drag on for, taking more heat and criticism when all it's going to do is just, now Jerry Jones knows next year the CBA opens up. So, and he's cheap. Listen, these guys, they try to be as cheap as possible. So I just think it's a matter of when it gets done this year, not if. And again, the longer it drags out, the better in a way. There's no deadlines and, deadlines make deals, and that's the way Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones have always kind of been. But sooner than later, listen, I think was it July or something like this, where Dak has until to sign the tag. I don't know if they push that date back, That's the deadline we got to look at. Whatever that deadline ends up being, whether it's August or September, it gets pushed back, or whether it stays in July. We need to make sure we look at that date, because that's the day where he's stuck on that tag. That could be the danger there for us not having a quarterback and Dak leaving. I think the Cowboys won't let that happen. I think we'll have a deal before that deadline hits, in my opinion.
Should we have a season, right?
Exactly, and that's the thing. If this gets pushed from July till December, then December you'll have a deal before this date. Is my point. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed. Yeah, man. No, this whole Dak situation. And we went through this last year with Zeke. It got dragged out. Last minute, boom, it gets done. And I said this before on my channel in my previous videos, and I think I've heard you say it too. Listen, the contracts always get dragged out to the last minute. And for me, I always believe this is a media thing. This is controlling how much media attention the Dallas Cowboys get, and until the time is right, and then boom, we sign and off we go, and everybody's happy. So I'll be happy if we sign Dak, but I'll be extremely upset should we not have an NFL season. Listen, we have to have an NFL season, and here's why. Because you know how many men will go through a depression? Wives will have to do something to take their men's mind off NFL, and good luck with that. I need my season. I'm sure you need your season. Cowboys Nation needs their season.
Oh, I hear you, man. I mean, I don't know if necessarily wives will. It's their job to take our minds off of things. You know what I'm saying? It's our job to take. It's a team thing. It's like the Cowboys, right? We're in a team, and so when it's your wife and me and my fiance and our families, it's we all got to, and again, I'm just lucky enough, and you're lucky enough that we have wives that are, going to be just as depressed as us, as us guys are. But if there's no season, but at the same time, I think that I hear you, man. I hear you about wanting a season, but do you want a season risking your life? And again, it's not, and now it's not. That's how you say, well, you're not going to go to the game, and I'm not going to go to the game. All right, because we're not going to go to the game and risk it with a crowd of 80,000 people in a dome. Can you imagine? So. But none of us going to risk it. Will the players risk it? You just can't force them either. They have to agree. NFL owners have to agree, and they have to have some kind of real testing system, I think, before this even happens. If we have a testing system, and this thing is, the curve is flattened and it's on a downswing, it's under control, but we have no vaccine, I don't think they should have people in the stadium other than a good testing system, and and also the players playing without an audience, without a stadium filled with fans. I just think that it sucks. And it definitely changes home field. It changes home field advantage, doesn't it? That shit changes the whole thing. It's crazy.
No, when I was saying I want an NFL season, I want an NFL season without fans. Like, if it's not safe, let's still do an NFL season. Let's broadcast it on TV. But it's going to be a different outcome. We know that the crowd is what gets some of these teams going, right? They get energy from the crowd, and sometimes that's how some of these, when that home field advantage, to have that eruptiveness from the crowd, your home crowd rooting you on, pushes you to get that W. So it changes games, it changes seasons. The home crowd. Yeah, exactly. So it'll be a definitely interesting season. Should we have games televised with no crowd, nobody in a crowd? I saw something on WWE about that with nobody in the stands, and it was weird to see. So imagine how NFL would be having nobody rooting or being in the stands. It's going to be definitely interesting to see. Everybody would be starting basically. It'd be like just be like a scrimmage with no fans. It's crazy. It's weird, right? There's no, it'd be very strange. I guarantee you by week 4 or 5, we'd be loving it. We'd be used to it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now I don't know about the players. And, again, for me, it's still about the players have to have a good testing system. So, 1 week they might not have it. 1 month they might not have it. But then the next month they might get COVID. You know what I'm saying? And then now it's spread out through the whole league. So that's something that it's got to be on. That's got to be number one before the fans and before the money. It's got to be the health of everyone, right? But including the football players, not just pieces thrown on the field. So they got to be taken care of in that sense, in my opinion, without question. They have to be tested, and it has to be tested in a effective, quick manner where we know if it's even dormant, or not. And that's one thing. Once you get that, if you could cross that barrier, if you get that agreed upon, I think we can have games in empty stadiums. That's the one barrier. You say that's the one thing we have to make sure before we can talk about anything else. We got to get the players
tested and get anybody who has COVID out of the game or whatever it is. That has to be the case. If you can't do that, you can't have a season. You can't not because of the fans or the money, because of the safety of players. I mean, my brother on our channel said that even if, and we were referring to the NBA, right? But NBA is a lot less players in the NBA overall in the league. In the NBA, if like 2% of the people died, or I think he said 1%, or maybe 0.5%. I think it was 0.5% was the expected number, because that's how many young, healthy people have died from the coronavirus. If that was extrapolated to the NBA, we'd have 2 or 3 dead NBA players.
Yeah.
In the NFL, it's going to be like 30 dead NFL players. Do you think that the NFL players want to risk that? Would you risk that? So
no,
exactly.
100%.
So you can't force these guys to play if there's no actual effective testing method. That's science. That's knowledge. That's power. That's what it's about. It's the facts, and that's what I'm waiting for. I'm sure most of the players are going to wait for that too. So that's what hangs in the balance whether or not there's a season or not, in my opinion.
All right, man. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Listen, I want to thank you again for taking the time to jump on my channel. Much love. I always watch your channel. I think that some of your knowledge is insane, and I hope I get to that level eventually soon. Listen, I want everybody to stay safe out there. COVID-19 is no joke. Stay home. Don't go out unless you have to. MCF, much love. I hope you stay safe. Your family, take care of your kids, and I hope to do this again with you soon.
Oh yeah, man, we'll definitely do this again. The crazy situation going on out there, and just yes, exactly what Sid said, man. Stay safe, everybody out there. Appreciate it, man. I'm humbled. Even 2.5 years doing this thing, to me, still like day one, and that's the way I think you got to look at it when you do this. That's the mindset you have to have if you want to succeed in this, because it's easy to say I want to do it. It's hard to sustain it. And you're doing it, you're sustaining it. You need to just keep grinding. It's a grind. It takes a while. You're doing the right thing, getting people, communicating with people, getting seen, getting known. And then, in time, the content will speak for itself. The knowledge will speak for itself. Listen, I wasn't like this 3 years ago. I love my Cowboys and I knew my Cowboys, but you got to immerse yourself in it. And that's, if you do that, you will, and stick with the facts. I think that's what gets people in, to all channels. Every channel has some fact-based stuff, and so does yours. And that's the whole thing. I think that, that's what's great about Cowboy Nation. We have so many people worldwide, right? I mean, Cowboys abroad and yourself, you guys outside the States. So, it is many, 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 many more fans outside the States, more than any other fan base, I think. And I mean, I know in the NFL and probably any American sports, it's the Dallas Cowboys. So just the fact that, we can all just do this together and just share knowledge and try to get on the same page on things and communicate different ideas and opinions, that's what makes this special. Over every single team out there. Think about that. Over every team out there. They might have 1 or 2 channels. They ain't got 87 channels of packed with just knowledgeable information. So just keep grinding, man. Keep doing your thing. I'm humble just to be out here doing, just that you guys appreciate what we're saying here.
Yeah, it's so true, man. And I agree with you on that fact. There's definitely a lot of it's insane. So before I end this, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Krisha Oliva, Ready Red. We had Mrs. Scouting Pro.
She's awesome. She's always breaking down some knowledge, man. She's great.
Yeah.
X Factor,
Cowboy X
Ready Red. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
You got Krisha
for tuning in to the channel today. We're gonna do this again. I'm gonna be doing some live streaming soon. Tune in tonight. MCF, you're gonna be doing something tonight on your channel?
Yeah, guys, every night. It's usually around 11 p.m. Eastern or a little later than that, but we always go live for at least an hour or 2 or more, talking about our Dallas Cowboys on My Cowboys Family over on YouTube, right here on YouTube. You can also follow us on Twitter at My Cowboys Family, on Discord. Don't forget to hit the like button for this stream here, guys. Sub it up to it's your boy Sid here, Dallas Cowboys for Life. And, subscribe to us, too, if you haven't yet. Make sure you don't forget to subscribe to My Cowboys Family on YouTube. And we'll see you all there, guys, tonight. We'll have a family meeting, as we do every single night, on our Dallas Cowboys and discuss some facts, spread some hopeful knowledge, and have good discussions with the fan base, man. That's what it's about. So much love, man, and never forget, go Cowboys!
Yeah, man. Thanks again a lot for tuning in. It's your boy Sid. If you haven't subbed to my channel, please click that subscribe button below. Like the video, share it. It's your boy Sid and MC, and we're out.
Peace.